This never happens. That's why we want to tell this story. So Wednesday afternoon, my mother got a phone call at 3:30 in the afternoon, and I'm overhearing her from the kitchen, and she's saying, "Oh my God, who is it? Who is it?" And then I hear her saying, "Oh, Matthew, oh no, what's wrong?" So right away I hear my son's name, so I grab the phone. So it was kind of like, now I already believe it's my son. So I take the phone and I hear my son on the phone saying, "I'm in jail," he's crying. He said, "I sound funny because I broke my nose in the accident. The crash was my fault. I have one phone call. Please don't tell Dad. And here's my docket number. My public defender is going to call you." So I'm panicked, immediately panicked. I hang up with him. The public defender calls me. Very professional, says, "What's the docket number?" I give it to her. "What's the inmate's number?" I give it to her. "What's your name?" I give it to her. She said, "Okay, your son was in an accident. It was his fault. Reckless driving, open container, driving under the influence. He hit a pregnant woman. And if the pregnant woman or the fetus die, it'll be vehicular homicide." So my head is spinning. And I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to be? She said, "Because he's first-time offender, you can bail him out." I got a pen. Okay, what do I need? She told me $12,500. I need 2 business-size envelopes and 1 yellow Jiffy bubble envelope. So I hang up the phone. She said, "Call me when you have all that, and I'll tell you where the bail bondsman is near you." So I hang up the phone. My poor mother and father are distraught. They start praying the rosary immediately for this pregnant woman, because you don't want a pregnant woman in critical condition. You know, like, oh, we have 3 grandchildren. So we were just distraught. I call Ron back from the switch. He comes home. We go out. We get the money. We get the envelopes. We get everything. Crazy. We're in the car, so I call the public defender, and I'm like, "Okay, we have everything. Where do we need to go?" And she said, "Well, because of COVID, you can't come here unless you test negative for 24 hours, blah, blah, blah. First-time offender program will come to you."
You said also, "Don't tell Matthew's wife."
Yeah, she said, "Don't tell anybody, could jeopardize the trial." Ron says, "We have to go tell his wife, Caitlin. We have to go tell her." And I was like, "Oh, I don't want to break this bad news. If we bail him out, let him come home and tell her. You know, he's going to be home tonight." Because she said, "Oh, I can get him into night court." I mean, it was so detailed, the thing she was saying to me. And Ron was like, "Josie, we have to go tell Caitlin." So I'm like, "Okay, you know what? You're right. Okay, how are we going to do this?" You know, so we drive to his house, because he's only a quarter mile from here. We knock on the door, and he answers the door. The next thing, I'm getting up off the floor because I think I fainted. We're screaming, "What are you doing here?" Ron's crying. We were having a stroke. Matthew's like, "Where should I be?" Because we're like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "No, where should I be? Am I dead? Did I die? Am I alive?" Like, he didn't even know. We were so crazy and screaming. I couldn't believe it. So I'm like, oh my God, it was a scam. It was a scam. If we didn't go to his house,
we would have drove to Camden.
We were ready to go.
Money off.
So we were like, "That's it, we gotta go to the cops." So I called my mother, first of all. So we went right to Wallkill police. And we march in there. Now, we must look like God knows what, because of the emotions were just, I can't even express to you what the emotions were. So we go in there and I'm like, "I would like to report a crime in progress." And they were like, "Okay." So, you know, the kid behind the desk, he was like, "Give me your ID." And I told him what happened, and he's like, "Okay, go home, you're fine." I'm like, no, I'm not fine. They're coming to my house, and you're coming to my house.
You're going to come to the house now, or you're going to come back after to mop up what's going to be left over?
So they got a detective, very nice. And he's like, "Listen, they never come to the house. This is as far as it goes, blah, 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 you're fine." And I'm like, "Listen, they got me. They got me good. I talked to this lady many times today. I spoke to my son. They're coming." He said, "Okay, take my cell phone number. Call me if they show up." So I'm going to give you the long story short, but it was harrowing, to say the least, because they were coming from Jersey with the first-time offender program. It was going to take a while, so I'd say about 2-3 hours later, I get a phone call. Ah! It's the public defender. So I put my phone on speaker, and then I go to contacts. I get the detective's number. I'm acting to her on the phone. I'm telling Ron, "Call her."
So I called Detective Wakefield and Reed.
So he's talking to the detective. They're on their way. She said they'll be there in 3 minutes. I'm like, "Oh, my baby, blah, blah, blah." I'm acting. The courier got lost. 45 minutes later, and 23 phone calls, and all of this acting, I'm drained. We think we don't know who's going to show up at the house. Is it going to be a car full of people with machetes? I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm calling every time oops, we got disconnected. Every time I hang up with her, I call the detective. I'm like, where are you? Like,
And they kept on circling around. It's that
Right.
the guy, Curry, kept on getting lost in our neighborhood.
we see one cop go this way. We see one cop go this way.
Okay, well, 1 minute away. The courier is going to be at your house in 1 minute. We
was go
called the
time.
police again. We said, they're coming. And then...
So one cop went this way undercover. One undercover went this way. And then here comes this.
The SUV went this way. The police.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And then the white car came this way. And then the police car
Right.
came. We heard his car screeching. So then they called him down the block.
Yeah. And meanwhile, the lady's still calling me. And I'm still acting. In my soul, I wanted to be like, we got him. But I didn't. So I was like, oh my God, they got him. So we're like, whew, nobody got shot. So then we got a phone call from the cops. You want to come down to the station? We got the perp. We got the perpetrator. So we're like, yes! So we go down to the station, and it was funny because they went from nobody's coming to your house to, oh, we're heroes, we did it. They were high-fiving, shaking our hands. They were like, this never happens. I consider myself an intelligent person, and they got me. I have answered 1 million scams on the phone, 1 million email scams, hang up, disconnect. We do this a lot, But when you think your son is on the phone and they just overrode your emotions, take over your intelligence. They got me. They got me good. The whole family has code words. If you don't say the code word, I'm not bailing you out of jail. I don't care what they say on the phone. We have a code word because you think it's your kid on the phone. He said he had a broken nose. And we're thrilled that they caught the guy.
No legitimate company is going to ask you for cash. Don't fall for it.
They said, we never get the phone scammer, never. So we're heroes.
Teamwork. It was teamwork. On both.
Teamwork.